In this tutorial, I will show you how to configure a simple parking lot in DSS 8.1.1. First of all, we will move to configuration and select device, so we can add our devices that we will use on our parking lot. So here we will search for our devices, and then we will choose this ITC cam, this ITC cam, this ITC cam, and also one CCTV camera. We'll add to device list. Okay, we have all devices online. Now we have to configure those ITC cameras so we can use them on our parking lot. So we will change ANPR device to access ANPR device. Click OK. And we will do the same on the second camera. Now we can configure time zone settings, and also we can do that in system parameters, time sync, and sync time now, and save. Okay, so we have successfully added these devices, and now we will move to parking lot. On the first step we have parking lot basic configuration, and on current side we can add parking lot. We will choose our name. We will enable parking space counting. If you don't have a parking space detector, you can count parking spaces by entering and exiting vehicles. And in this option, cameras that are configured for entrance and exit will count vehicles, and you can write your total parking spaces here and available parking spaces here. But in our case, we will use parking space detector, so we will choose this option and move to next step. Now we will configure entrance and exit point. We will name it and add our entrance. We will name it entrance 1, and you can choose single camera or dual camera setup. With dual camera you can add 2 cameras and coordination time, but in our case we will choose single camera. We will add this camera, and also you can choose video intercom here, so if some vehicles have problem with entering the parking lot, they can call us, but in our case we won't add it here. And then we can configure exit. It will be also single camera setup, and we will choose this camera, and you can also choose video intercom here. We'll move to next step, passing rule. You can allow entrance just for registered vehicles, all vehicles, or custom list. In our case we will choose all vehicles and also all vehicles on exit. We will move to next step, parking space detection. We can add parking space detector. In our case it's this one, and you can see here we have number of parking spaces 2. We don't have any parking space display, but you can add it here, and after that you can click on save and exit. As you can see here we have our parking lot created. Then you can configure reserved parking space on this page for our parking lot and for our 2 parking spaces. So we can choose this parking space and add our vehicle, click OK. Then we have this parking space reserved for this vehicle and this owner. Then we can configure a parking lot layer. On parking lot 1, add parking lot layer. We can choose our name and upload a file of the parking lot. We can click on Save and Configure Layer. And now we can drag and drop on the first step entrance and exit point. We can move it here and place it here. We can move to next step, configure our parking spaces. We can zoom in and adjust this place. Add second parking space. As you can see, it's already in the same size as the first one. You can move to next step. Parking space display, we don't have this one here, so we move to next step, and we can choose monitoring location. So we can have one camera, for example, here. We can save and exit, and here we have our parking lot layer configured. Next step is configuring events. As you can see, we can have parking over time event here, or no entry and exit record. So we can click on cogwheel and turn this option on and enter time in minutes. We can report only once to non-registered vehicles and vehicles in blog list. We can click on save, and now we can go to applications, parking lot, and see our parking lot here. And also we can choose visualized parking lot. Okay, double click on that, and as you can see here, we have occupied this one parking space. Also, we can configure events for parking lot. We can add new event, choose parking lot, and then choose parking overtime or reserved parking space. If we have a configured reserved parking space, it will send an alarm if a non-registered vehicle will enter this space. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope it will help you configuring your own parking lot.